Thank you for joining us. This presentation will show you how you can save 5 to 35 hours a week calculating time and attendance.
Well, one of the ways that we can acquire time, in addition to using web time clocks and biometric time clocks, which we can cover at another time, is to use the web native application. And what we can do is just pull up our web clock, punch our web clock. And so if I wanted to just use the computer to capture time rather than filling out a timesheet, all I need to do is come in here and enter in my name, my password, and then I can select a particular punch time. In this case, it's a punch for day.
So Tony, what you're showing us here is the employee coming in from wherever workstation and indicating their username and password.
That's
and
correct.
Punching in their time. Okay.
Correct.
And can this also be on any remote devices, or does this have to be like a computer workstation?
No, that's a great question for you. In most cases for other companies, you'd be stuck with having to do it on the computer. But because TimeStar is a web native product, it allows itself to be used from portable data collection devices such as a smartphone, an iPad, things of that nature. So as long as you can get to the internet and you acquire an IP address, you can use TimeStar.
Perfect. Thank you.
In addition to being able to record in for day, in from lunch, out times, we can also do what are called transfers. This comes in particularly handy if you have an employee who you want to be able to move around. So for example, Dave punches in for the day, and then he's going to go ahead and do a transfer from a specific job that he starts off into another job that perhaps you've assigned him to. So maybe he starts the day in assembly, and then he's going to move over to circuit boards. And once I complete that transfer, his time's automatically going to be sent over to that particular piece of work. Now, if I want to, I can also come into the system as an employee. And how do I go ahead and decrease my calls to HR? Well, what I do is I'm going to empower the employee to be able to go ahead and see his own accrual balances, to take his own time off requests, etc. So I'm logging into that same portal, only this time I'm using the employee self-service module, and it's going to bring me directly into TimeStar so that I can see what I've set up for TimeStar. From this portal, the employee can see a number of things, and he can review a number of things, but he really can't add much to it. So for example, he can see his work schedule. You just punch on that little dial and it'll give you a closer view of that schedule, and I can make that change to his schedule at any point that I want. I can see my requests, I can see my punches, etc. Let's take a look at the punches for a minute. I'm going to show you how we would use the rounding rules. So what I'm going to do is reveal to you the punches that he's gone ahead and recorded for the last 4 days. And so you can see that within TimeStar we lay them out in different colors. So the first day is white, second day is gray, etc. We have the actual times that he punched displayed on the far left, along with the punch type: in for day, transfer, out, in from lunch, transfer again, and then out for the day, along with the rounded time. So he comes in at 7:34. We're going to be good guys and give him 4 minutes grace period. On lunch, he punches out at 12:27. We're going to round it to 12:30. Comes back in at 1:29. We're rounding it to 1:30, and you can see how that goes down the roll. And so you're really paying him from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. rather than 7:34 to 4:03. We can also capture other things such as any flags or alerts that we've associated with that punch time. So I want to know, is he here on time? Is he not here on time? Automatically, the system's going to flag that, place this in a calendar so you can see the type of attendance history that this individual has earned over the period of time he's worked with us. It will also capture things like missing punches, any other thing that is an aberrant behavior. So if he's missed a punch, it'll show up in red, and we can go ahead and fix that. We can also look at other hours. If he works for, let's say he has a callback set up, we can go ahead and pay him for callback. We can enter into a PTO record, for example, under the other hours tab because it's not associated with a punch. We can pay him commission, so we can do expense reimbursement within the system as well. And then finally, we can show the accrual summary and the time off request. The accrual summary is the summation of his accruals based on the plans that he has in place. So, for example, you can see on an annual basis for his PTO, he has a balance today in real time of 88 hours. He has another balance of sick time of 52 hours, and the calculations that you see above is how we get to those number of hours. If he wants to go ahead and request time off, once he reviews and sees how much time he has the ability to come in here, simply send in a new time off request. This essentially is a message going to his boss telling him how many hours he has, how many hours he wants to take. If he wants to add a second day, he can. He's going to take the entire day off and then the reason for that particular day off. So it could be, in my case, I just came off of bereavement leave. You can just go ahead and send that in there and submit your request, and it's going to go right over to the boss. So we need to change. We made an error here, so we've got to change this one to the 20th because we got 2 days in a row. And away we go. And it should list for me that I put in another request, and there it is. There's my little flag, and sure enough, there's my requested days off. So that's one of the ways that the employee can go ahead and take a look at it. You can also view a timesheet, which gives him more of a view of an Excel spreadsheet. I can do this for salaried folks. I could do this for non-exempt folks. It's just totally up to you in terms of how you look at it. So that's what we show for the employee's perspective.
Call us now at Accounting Systems Consulting Group, 318-213-0375. We'd like to show you how you can save 5 to 35 hours a week calculating time and attendance. Thanks so much for joining us.